Hello everyone and welcome back to Lakeside, and it's been a really super week this week. I've managed to get on with quite a bit, all primarily based around the lake and the manor house. So I think without further ado, let's crack on and I'll show you what's been happening. Okay, so bye for now and speak to you in a minute. Hello again and welcome back. So this is now the revised bridge from the old bow bridge which you used to see here, and as I mentioned previously, the reason why I've done this is so that it opens out the lake a lot more visually, and also it allows me to photograph better scenes really, because the bow bridge was kind of in the way with the high superstructure here, and I couldn't really sort of get in that way or that way to get some decent shots. Apart from that, I think it's also a nicer looking bridge. So I've weathered this now, and I've got some white chalky substance leaking through the brickwork, a bit of dirt, and I've made the baseboard itself much bigger for the lake. So the old baseboard came out completely and I remade the new baseboard, leveled it all up, so that's now ready nearly for painting and pouring the resin. I've also mounted the manor house in a different position. Before, it was mounted on that beam going across there, facing there, and if you remember I had a road coming down and along here. Now what's going to happen is that this road here is going to come along, go down, because it's the manor house is at a lower level now. It's going to go down on a hill, scoot around the side and join up with the old road which I had along here, if that makes sense. It will do. Once it's all done, it'll become clear. So I've got to now make an embankment, starting there, going down across here and meeting up here, and if I come around the other side, there will be a small embankment going from the bottom of the wall here and down onto the lake. So it's literally just going to be that amount of an embankment, and I think having the manor house backing up onto the lake like that is a really lovely scene, or it will be once I've finished it. And if you go back into the history of Lakeside, I don't know, 5 years or so ago, when my great friend Ian did the history of Lakeside and the manor house, you will know, hopefully, that he had the library built just in this window here, so that he could look out from that window across to the lake. Now, bearing in mind at that time there was only one bridge at that time, which was this one. That's obviously now been extended and this new bridge put in as well. But it still gives the lake plenty of room for fishermen to fish, and also on the embankments which will be around, and along the back across there. So there's plenty of room for fishermen to park their fishing stuff and fish off the embankments. So the next thing really is for me to unbolt the manor house again, which is only 4 screws, and then I can lift that away, and then I can work again on this area, and I need to fill the screw holes here, various screw holes going along here, fill those, and then put a perimeter box or strip of wood all the way around the edges and including along here, so that when I pour the resin I don't get any leakage, because what I don't want to do is to rely on the embankments I put in to hold any resin back, because I'm bound to get leakage under the embankments. So if I put a perimeter strips of wood all the way around the outer edges, then if the resin does go underneath any of the embankments, I can be assured that it won't go any further. It will just go up to the small pieces of strips of wood I should put there. I'm unsure at the moment as regards what I will use for filling. I've got either a choice of realistic water, resin, 2-part resin, varnish even, but I'm erring on the side of using resin rather than realistic water. Realistic water will cost me an arm and a leg to fill this area, so I'm erring on the side of using a 2-part resin. But first, before I pour the resin in, I've got to also paint it, and I did a visual using Photoshop, which I haven't used for quite a few years now, since I packed up work, just to create a visual of how I want that to look, and hopefully you can see that now. And it's going to be like a dark green grey colour. I don't want it blue. Lakes aren't blue in this country, they are kind of a greeny grey murky colour. So that's really it as regards the lake so far, but I think you'll agree that if I stand back, that now opens it right up to create a far better looking lake. And you know, all these edges here will be not straight, they will be curved and shaped. So that's really all I've been doing this week, is building that bridge and finishing it off, weathering it, mounting it and getting it level, at which it is now, and I've got all 4 trains running again. As regards the suspension bridge, as you know, I've been thinking about making this a one-piece suspension bridge rather than having 2 separate ones. Again, I've got a couple of ideas on how to do that, either to 3D print a complete module like that but one piece, 3D print it, or just to do what many people do, and that's to use plastic card to join the whole lot together and make it as one unit. Kind of undecided about that at the moment. The easy option, probably the easy option, is to use plastic card, but I will see on that. I will have a closer look and take 2 off and just try it out, I think, and see how I go. I could leave it exactly as it is, but I just think it would look nice to make it look like one bridge rather than 2 side by side. I can't make it 2 single tracks because obviously I've got 2 tracks there, so I can't have one there and one carrying on down here. I just haven't got the room, and apart from that, I like the twin look of it. I only say that because someone did mention that in a passing comment. So that's about it. So I think next thing is to do a few shots of trains running around this area. I won't bother with anything else on the layout over here, because I haven't done anything else over there on the village or anything. I've been concentrating on this. Excuse me. So I've just been dremeling. I've got sawdust down my throat. So yeah, next thing I'll get some trains running, and we'll see what kind of shots I can get from that. Just bear in mind, obviously, Still rough stage at the moment, no resin or painting done here, so you'll just have to imagine like I've done on that visual to imagine what it's going to be like. Okay. Oh, the other thing is I have started adding the edging here, so I've gone from there to there to there, and it will carry on round over to there. Okay, so I'll speak to you a bit later. So bye for now. Hello again. Right, hopefully you've enjoyed that little small running session, primarily based around the lake and the manor house area. Just really trying to get a few more different shots in. There's probably bound to be a lot more I can discover a bit later on, but yeah, some of those shots I thought were quite nice. Obviously the main thing is getting this far with the build of the lake. That's really pleased me. And also, when I think about it, I took the advice from several guys who commented on the last video saying about getting some fence panels, which I've been after, and I got those from Woodland, sorry not Woodland, I've got Woodland Scenics on my mind, Scale Model Scenery, and they're just basically card, laser cut card, which you assemble, you glue back to back, and then you glue a fence post on, and so they will sit nicely on here. Just drill some holes, and then I can space those out nicely along this back area of the fencing here. So I can do that. That's probably my first job tomorrow. So hopefully I've got enough there. I think I have. There's 25 in the pack for the posts, and I think that should be enough. So thank you to all those who advised me to get the panels from Scale Model Scenery. They're going to work fine, and they're pretty much identical to the ones I wanted just there, but these are wood, whereas the Scale Model Scenery are card, but that doesn't matter. One last thing before I shoot off. I was very surprised a couple of weeks ago. I had an email from Magnarail Oz, and I don't know if you can see that. They awarded me the Master Magnarail Magician, primarily for the cycle track I've made up over there along the back, and with the cyclists here, and they awarded me that title of Master Magnarail Magician, and so I shall frame that with pride and put this up in the train room, and I think that's the first award I've ever been given as regards model railways. So I'm very, very pleased about that. I shall hang that with pride. Not that many, to be honest, listed for the Master Magnarail Magician. There's a few with just Magnarail Magician, but not the Master. There's a few on there you will know. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So if we look around, then it's coming on a treat. It's getting there. Okay people, I think that's about it for now. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, and I will speak to you again probably next week sometime. Okay, so bye for now. Bye.